Well, we're talking about the Constitution. The Constitution basically is what governs. That's the legal document for every country. And as it says under democracy, for the people, by the people, of the people. So it encompasses the work of the people. So the people have to be involved in anything that is taking place legally in the country. When we have an election and we elect a representative, a person that will represent your constituency. Remember, you have 30,000 people in a constituency. All 30,000 can go into parliament. So you elect one to represent the views of the 30,000 people. So any decision that must be made in parliament must be made by the will of the people. So that one representative must meet with the people, then go back to parliament to say, listen, I've spoken to my constituents and this is what they want. I represent their views. That is not happening in Jamaica. What is taking place in Jamaica today is an oligarchy. An oligarchy is where the people with money control the politicians, and the politicians make laws to help these people make more money. And it is a simple equation. A political party does not make money. It's not a business. It does not generate money. So it depends on donations from rich people to finance the political party. And this is why we have the upside down democracy that we call an oligarchy. Oligarchy is where the rich people control the politicians and the politicians make laws to enrich these donors to the various political parties.
And themselves too.
And this is where the corruption come in, because when they get 100 million, they don't put the whole 100 million to the party. They pocket 50 and share up 50 in the party. That's where the corruption comes from. So it's a simple thing. The people need to change it. And this is why the Jamaica Unity Alliance is coming forward to change the constitution, not to reform it. Reform it means you just touch and a little piece here and a little piece. We want to change it to reflect the will of the people.
So alright, so you say Unity Alliance. So what am I going to do differently? When I say change, how am I going to change it? Starting from the top, what am I going to do from the top?
Well,
so it benefit the people.
The first thing you have to do is to remove the monarchy. In 1834, when we had that Emancipation Act read, the so-called slaves were set free. But they had a period of 4 years between 1834 and 1838, which was known as the apprenticeship period, where the so-called Africans, I don't like to call them slaves, the Africans were made to work for 4 years free.
Okay.
They were not paid. They called it the apprenticeship period.
Okay.
Now within that 4 year period, working free, the white men that had these Africans, enslaved Africans, were given 20 million pounds. Now they were compensated for that 4 years of work. So the crown paid them for the work.
So removing the crown will do what? How changing the constitution will benefit the people?
Well, when you remove the crown, all these lands known as crown land will become the people's land.
What else?
And land is a basic functional, and this is why they call land real estate. Land is what generates real. If it generates food, food is real. You sell the food and you get that fiction called money. Money is just a promissory note. I give you this piece of paper and you give me 3 breadfruit. It's a promissory note. The only real thing that you have is the land.
So you're going to remove. So it's going to remove the crown,
the monarchy, yes,
right, and replace it with what exactly?
It's going to be a nationalist move, as Marcus Garvey had articulate it. Nationalism is where you nationalize the assets of the country. So the assets of the country become the assets of the people, and it is then redistributed in an equitable manner. So you will have agricultural land, you have domestic land, you have land for business, industrial estates and all that. That will benefit the people, not just a few as it happened in the past. In the past, they could always tell you that there were 21 families that owned everything in Jamaica. 21 families.
Did it still exist?
It still exists today. The family names might change because of intermarrying, but the process is the same. You have 90% poor people in the country same way and 10% controlling the assets of the country. It still happens today.
Alright, Errol, so tell me about Cash Plus. Me can never understand the history of Cash Plus. I mean, folks from them time they tell me and me just can't wrap my brain around it. Tell me about it.
Well, Cash Plus was an institution, a financial institution that came to save poor people. That you could give Cash Plus $100,000 and you get 10% interest on your money. Now, at that time, the banks were giving you 2% on your money. 2%. So you are getting 8% more from Cash Plus. Now, what happened is that most people started to take their money out of the big banks to carry it into Cash Plus. And it is the first in the history of Jamaica that you had what they call an exit interview. That before you could get your money, the banks would interview you to find out what are you going to do with this money. 99.9% of the people that were taking out their money told them that we were going to put the money in Cash Plus. It is at this stage that the Bankers Association had a meeting to decide what are we going to do. We, quote unquote, meaning the Bankers Association in Jamaica. What are we going to do with Cash Plus? Because this man is mashing up our business. And immediately after that, they started to dishonor checks that were drawn. Even though the money was there, the man had the money to back the check. Because this is what, a check is a promissory note that I have this money and you can redeem this money by giving this check. The bank started to dishonor all Cash Plus checks. And eventually, people started to have problems because you have the check, you can't get the money and you have the business to do. So eventually Cash Plus had to close. And when it closed, you realize that a golden opportunity to make poor people rich was thrown away because of the oligarchy.
Hold on. Tell me something now. So is the dishonored checks mash up in business?
Yes.
Or did he do something illegally?
No, he did nothing illegal. Everything he did, what they were claiming, and they tried to create a propaganda that he had a Ponzi scheme, that he used one person's money to pay another person. So when you could come in with your money, your new money, because your money had to stay for I think a month before you get your 10%. So they were saying that he used the new money that people bring in to pay the old money. But what they forgot, that the owner of Cash Plus, Mr. Carlos Hill, had invested in a phone company, Megaphone, in which he was selling cellular phones at a much cheaper rate. And a lot of people became subscribers to Cash Plus because when you had a Cash Plus phone, you could make free international calls. And they were also afraid of that aspect of it. Free international calls. The next thing, Mr. Hill had purchased 2 hotels. And these hotels he would use to make more money out of it because the hotels were in high demand. So we understand that he had invested a lot of the money in also real estate. So he was a very astute businessman, because up to today they cannot jail him because he did nothing wrong.
So well on this. So in his own way, Carlos was a revolutionary poor people businessman.
Yes, yes. He was a revolutionary poor people businessman. Astute businessman. Because I was a member of Cash Plus and I made money. I was...
Me know who real from who feel, from who stand up like a pillar beside me. Some men know where we were red, some men know where we were red, but they can't check me with bloody money. Me know where we were red, some men know where we were red, can't check me with bloody money. We know struggle feel, we know how hard life feel. We know what it is to be poor, and we know what it is to have everything in abundance. Every day me get up, me have to give thanks. I'm a see my life very significant. Me I do for my work. Nobody can never tell me some my heart is vacant. Me treat everyone alive. Everybody on the face of people so smile. Listen when the Sunday matter, and me come to introduce a little good life. Yeah, so me not worry for myself now. Ain't nothing for me worry about. Don't know how people feel, so I know what to expect from day to day. Yeah, them represent them the surprise, man. Mr. Real done already check them energy. Me know who real from who feel, from who stand up like a pillar beside me. So me now worry, no. So me now worry, nobody can trick me. If bloody money, me now worry. Me now worry, nobody can trick me with bloody money. Can't believe when me I say my very good friend be turned enemy. Can't see no clarity in this situation. Can't believe when I say we used to celebrate the best of you. Now me end up and witness the worst of you. Tell me why you dance up. Me don't know why people them dance up. Yeah, me used to treat you like a brother, like a woman. This is what me tell you. From my heart, me a talk. Listen to that one, yeah. Me not worry for myself though. Ain't nothing for me worry about. Me don't know how people stay, so me know what to expect from day to day. Yeah, them represent on the surprise, man. Mr. They don't already check them energy. Me know who real from who feel, from who stand up like a pillar beside me. Me not worry though. That's why me not worry. No, me not worry. When they can't trick me with bloody money. Me no worry, me no worry, me no worry, me no listen, me no want. Me choose the narrow road, yeah. Me never choose a broad road, yeah. Enough man choose a broad road and end up get way wrong, yeah. When me talk from my heart, you know this revolution must play my part. Tell you it's a serious thing, and the life where you move for, and not the dark. Them want to kill me with the deception. Them want to trick the black man. Them want to take what my mind, but me nah make none of them take what my mind. Every day me get up in the struggle, still alive and I still a smile. Yeah, me still a put joy in the people life. Yeah, so me say, yeah, me not worry.